Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be talking about the Austrian Grand Prix results for F1, F2 and F3. But before we get into that, let's first talk about next week's schedule race is at Silverstone for the British Grand Prix for F3, F2 and F1. So F3 will first start with practice and qualifying. Both them will be on a Friday. Practice will start at 8:40 to 9:25, while qualifying will start at 2:10 to 2:40. Then the sprint race on a Saturday, that's at 9:20 to 10, while the feature race on Sunday, that's at 8:20 to 9:05. F2 practice qualifying once again on a Friday. Practice will start at 10 to 10:45, while qualifying will start at 3:05 to 3:35. Sprint race on a Saturday, that's at 3:15 to 2, while the feature race will start at 9:55 to 10:55 in the morning. And finally, for F1, FP1 and FP2, that'll start on a Friday. That will start FP1 that'll start at 12:30, 1:30. FP2 that'll start at 4 to 5. FP3 and qualifying on a Saturday. FP3 that'll start at 11:30 to 12:30, while qualifying that'll start at 3 to 4 p.m. And then finally, which is the race itself, on a Sunday, that'll start at 3 p.m. Let's now have a look now at the F3 results at Austria. For the F3 results here in Austria, first over the sprint race, that was won by Mr. Bombaclat himself, Nikola Solov. If you don't know what that means, don't search it up just for your eyes. Followed by Martina Senchon and Christian Mansell right at the podium. And then for the top 10, in fourth place, we have Alex Dunn, Lawrence Van Hopen, Gabriella Mini, Oliver Gerthi, Tim Tremenez, Noah Leon, and Sammy Megatunev right at the top 10. Now, this race was ended under safety car conditions, thanks to Sebastian Montoya. I'm pretty sure made contact with Gabriella Mini, I believe. Obviously, I might be wrong. Basically, Montoya just crashed onto, I think it was a second DRS zone, I believe, along the backstretch, and it was pretty vicious hit. It was pretty scary, and he started spinning around like a tornado, but luckily he was okay. But it was just a very nightmare weekend for Sebastian Montoya. But anyway, Mr. Bombaclat himself gets another win in his resume in F3. And for the feature race, that was won by Luke Browning, followed by Gabriel Me and Dina Beganovic around the podium. And then for the top 10, we have Christian Mansell, Oliver Gerthi, Nikola Solov, Arvid Lindblad, Lawrence Van Hopen, Leonardo Fanaroli, and Alex Dunn right out the top 10. Now, there were quite a lot of exceeded track limits and penalties, 5 seconds, 3 seconds. I can't remember. I think one of them might have been maybe Senchon, like a Tunif, I think. And there was one more that I can't remember the name of. But I think as well, like, I think Tim Tremenez was being a bit of a menace as well during this race. So, yeah, I mean, there was some interesting moments in F3, or just F3 just being F3, but mostly it was relatively calm. So at least that was a good sign there for F3 as a whole, and yeah, it wasn't that chaotic. So at least that was a good sign there. Driver saying is now after Austria. It's now an 11-point difference between Luke Browning, our championship leader, and Gabriella Mini, followed by Leonardo Fanaroli, Dina Beganovic, Christian Mansell, Arvid Lindblad, Oliver Gerthi, Tim Tremenez, Lawrence Van Hopen, and Nikola Solov ran out the top 10. Let's now have a look now at the F2 results for Austria. For the F2 results at Austria, and that was won by Oliver Behrman. Yes, he returns back to Park Fermé in the victory, well, I should say on the podium step, followed by Pepe Marti and Paul Aaron. And then for the top 10, we have Gabriel Bortoletto, Dennis Hauger, Jack Rolford, Kush Miney, Joshua Dirksen, Zach Arselvin, and Victor Martins ran out the top 10. I'll be honest, I can't remember much of this race. It was a bit of a boring one, but it's great to see that Oliver Behrman is back. Obviously, he's had a very, very horrible F2 season so far. And to be fair, as well, Prema, they've just been horrible as a whole. So it's great that Behrman is back, which is a great sign. So really happy that he's now, basically now has a win into his name this year, which is a great sign there. And then for the feature race, that was won by Gabriel Bortoletto, followed by Franco Colapinto and Isaac Hadjob. And for the top 10, we have Enzo Fittipaldi, Paul Aaron, Joshua Dirksen, Amory Cordio, Taylor Barner, Zach O'Sullivan, and Jack Crawford ran out the top 10. Now, there was some stuff about Pepe Marti and Isaac Hadja. I'm pretty sure like Marty wanted to get into position back in front of Hadja, but obviously Hadja decided not to do that because the championship was more important. But it didn't matter because yes, Pepe Marty finished 4th in on the road. He pretty sure he was a qualify, maybe got a 10 or maybe got a 10-second time penalty or something. Not really too sure. But basically what happened was because I think he pitted under VAC conditions. So that's the reason why you don't see him in the top 10 anywhere. But it was some good strategy. I mean, Colapinto, he was flying. I think he was like, what, like 11th or 12th somewhere before he pitted, and he finished 2nd, which is incredibly impressive there for Frank Colapinto. While like Dennis Hauger, who didn't finish in the top 10, I think he was also a pole sitter, stored on the formation level, along with other drivers like Kushmani, pretty sure was one. There was one more driver, Zach O'Sullivan, I believe. No, sorry, Jack Crawford. Jack Crawford was the other driver, I'm pretty sure, who was stored also on the grid on the formation lap. For the standings now for F2, Paul Aaron is still in the lead over Isaac Hadja, followed by Gabriel Bortoletto, Zane Maloney, Frank Colapinto, Jack Crawford, Dennis Hauger, Kushmani, Andrea Kimi Antonelli, and Enzo Fittipaldi ran out the top 10. Let's now have a look now at the F1 results at Austria. But first off now with the sprint race, and that was won by Max Verstappen, followed by Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris ran out the podium. Then we have George Russell, Carl Sainz, Lewis Hamilton, Charles Leclerc, Sergio Perez ran out the points paying drivers, followed by Kevin Magnussen and Lance Stroll ran out the top 10. And then we have Esteban Ocon, Pierre Gasly, Yuki Tsunoda, Daniel Ricciardo, Fernando Alonso, Logan Sargent, Alexander Albon, Valtteri Bottas, Nico Hulkenberg, and Zhou Guanyu ran out the finishes. The laps was reduced from 24 to 23 because they had an additional formation lap. For one of the weirdest things, because Kim Millman talked about it in his video, I'm pretty sure, but basically the photographers were in an area that they weren't supposed to be in, even though it was there previously. Like, you could actually go down there, but because of safety concerns, they decided to kick everyone out, which absolutely makes sense. I mean, it's a very fast part of the track, and accidents could be there itself, and it makes sense. So I can understand that, but yeah, I mean, there was a bit of a battle between the McLarens and Verstappen, and then until the McLarens started squabbling themselves, and Piastri made a great move as well around the outside Lando Norris, but that's really about it, I'll be honest, in this race. This race was kind of boring in the sprint race. And then for the main race, it was not Max Verstappen, it was George Russell. I'll explain it later, and I'll explain about that later. Followed by Oscar Piastri and Carlos Sainz ran at the podium. Then we have Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen, Nico Hulkenberg. What a great job from him. Sergio Perez, Kevin Magnussen also doing a great job, including Daniel Ricciardo. And then Pierre Gasly ran out the top 10. Then we have Charles Leclerc, who somehow did a 5-stopper and finished in 11th place. Esteban Ocon, Lance Stroll, Yuki Tsunoda, Alexander Albon, Valtteri Bottas, Zhou Guanyu, Fernando Alonso, Logan Sargent, and Lando Norris down in last place. Norris did retire because of damage. And I guess the main talking point of this race is the Max Verstappen and Lando Norris collision that happened up in turn 3, even though it's actually turn 2. Basically, I don't know what to really think about it. I mean, did it look like that Verstappen didn't give Norris any room? Yes. Did it look like that Norris could have just backed off? Probably. But it kind of made worse when Verstappen decided to still put on a defensive move on Norris even though he had a puncture. Why the hell would he do that? Don't know why. Was he pissed off at Norris? Was he just making sure he just went past him? Why the hell would you not let him pass if they have a puncture? I was surprised well that Norris didn't take out his frustrations at him. But yeah, that's the main talking point. Considering that Norris, he's now becoming a championship threat. Again, massive quotations because of just how far behind, just because of how far in front of Verstappen is now. I'm a bit surprised about that, but it is. I don't know what to think about it because could Verstappen not be that aggressive? Maybe. Could Norris have just backed off? Maybe. It did look like a racing incident. Verstappen did get a 10-second time penalty, which is kind of useless. But I mean, it's still a penalty. But it didn't really do much. Either way, though, it definitely created some excitement, and Russell, he was there at the right time, including Piastri, including Sainz. All those drivers were there at the exact right time. So, I mean, even though, yes, the win did land on Russell's lap, he took advantage of it. So, yeah, I mean, now what we have, like 4 different winners now: Verstappen, Russell, Norris, and Carlos Sainz, I believe. So, I mean, that was looking much better compared to last season, because last season was shite. Obviously, the only retirement that being landed on Norris because of damage. Fastest up went to Leclerc. Fastest lap went to Alonso. Driver of the day, Lando Norris. I mean, is Lando Norris like the new Max Verstappen for driver of the day? Remember, like in 2016 to like 2018, 19, when Verstappen always got driver of the day. Now this is kind of a bit of a repeat now, but this time it's Lando Norris always getting driver of the day. I'm kind of seeing a bit of a trend there. And then finally, to up with the penalties, there's quite a lot of penalties in the race. Zhou Guanyu, a change made during park framing, had to start in the pit line. No further action for Lewis Hamilton for leaving the track. Sergio Perez got a 5-second time penalty for speed in the pit lane. Causing collision for Fernando Alonso with a 10-second time penalty and 2 penalty points. Two 5-second time penalties as well for Lewis Hamilton and Alex Albon, both in crossing the white line at pit entry. An alleged unsafe release well for Max Verstappen, no further action. Lando Norris leaving the track without a reason multiple times, which is a 5-second time penalty. And the big one, whether that be Max Verstappen, a causing collision with Lando Norris with a 10-second time penalty and 2 penalty points added to his license. And for the standings, Max Verstappen still in the lead over Lando Norris, followed by Charles Leclerc, Carlos Sainz, Sergio Perez, Oscar Piastri, George Russell, Lewis Hamilton, Fernando Alonso, Yuki Tsunoda around the top 10. Then we have Lance Stroll, Nico Hulkenberg, Daniel Ricciardo, Oliver Bearman, Pierre Gasly, Kevin Magnussen, Esteban Ocon, then Alexander Albon, and then Zhou Guanyu. Then the other drivers have been Valtteri Bottas and Logan Sargent. The biggest movers were both Haas boys of Hulkenberg and Magnussen, while the biggest losers were Ricciardo, Bearman, Ocon, and Albon, all of them going down 1 spot. And then for the constructors, Red Bull Racing still in the lead, followed by Ferrari, McLaren, Mercedes, Aston Martin, RB, Haas moves in front of Alpine, Williams, then Stake. So just a reminder that the next week's schedule race is still the zone for the British Grand Prix for F3, F2, and F1. So now, guys, to like, comment, and subscribe. It would really help me, especially on this channel. A very exciting race, I'll be honest, for Austria, which is a great sign. We'll see how Silverstone delivers. So that's really bad for me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Catch you guys next time in the next one. Goodbye.